Welcome tonight to the Mastermind. We are glad you are here, and we are starting right now because it's Wednesday night and it's the Beyond Publishing Author Mastermind from Beyond Publishing in Dallas, Texas. We're so glad you're here. Every Wednesday night we go live right here because we've got something to share. We get input from our authors, we hear from our authors, and we bring our authors on. In fact, authors, I'm wanting you to join me in the studio, so feel free to jump in the studio with the link that I shared with you. I'm glad you're here. And tonight we're going to be talking about PR. We're going to be talking about publicity. We're going to talk about how to get free publicity with your book in 2024. I highly recommend it. Free is always better than fee. There's nothing wrong with fee, but tonight we're talking about get publicity for your book. Nothing happens until other people are talking about your book. Put in the chat where you're watching from. I want to know where you're watching from. I want to know what book you're promoting this year. Larry Hiskett's promoting Willie's Wonders. So glad you're here. Adina is in Alabama. She's excited to bring you her book. It's called Surrender. It's epic. Adina Payton, glad you're here. Patricia Shiflett's here. She's saying, hey, she's got a great story and a message of faith. She's bringing it from around the globe and from Kentucky. So we're glad you're here, and we're glad Calabasas, California is in the house. We're glad Debbie Adams, Murfreesboro, Tennessee is in the house. Let me know where you're watching from. You know, we normally host these on Zoom, and tonight we're hosting here on StreamYard because we do have a guest, and we're talking about PR. We're talking about public relations publicity and getting media buzz, getting free media buzz around your book. It's so important to get others talking about your book. You know, it's great. There's Jerry from Maryland. Good to see you. Jerry's got a great new book coming out, and we're really happy to have you here. You're at Tampa International. Well, I'm telling you, that's the place to be over Maryland. I would imagine this week, Jerry and Larry is at Tampa. I'm sorry about that. Getting my Larry's and Jerry's mixed up. So many exciting things happening here. Encouragement and inspiration from Pat Shiflett. Really glad to have you here. You're doing your third book, got your third book out. You're speaking everywhere, and that's what it's about. It's about promoting the book. It's about speaking. It's about getting others talking about you. There's a couple ways you can get into the news media. We're going to talk about it tonight. We're very excited about Jill Lublin. She's a PR expert. And, you know, I've known Jill for years. She's a best-selling author of 5 best-selling books. And my goodness, I'm loving all this chatter in the chat. That's the thing is, guys, when you get online, I'm loving what Adina's saying. Be humble. Her humble abode, Huntsville, Alabama, surrender, how 16 bullets changed my life. Hey, listen, I love that subtitle, Adina. That's great. In fact, you were on the news media today. We're talking about getting free PR and media with your book in 2024. You are the media event. You want to create media around your book and around your brand. There's nothing wrong with spending money to be in the media. There's nothing wrong with that. That's great. The main thing is get other people talking about you, getting people talking about your book. One of the best ways to get other people talking about your book is adopt a nonprofit. Talk about your nonprofit. We have our nonprofit here, 1040 Impact. You hear me talk a lot about it. Tie your business, tie your book, tie your brand to a nonprofit. Go speak at a nonprofit. Sponsor a little league team. Do something for junior achievement. Do something for big brothers and big sisters. There's so many cool things you can do. But before we get started too big, I want to say, hey, from New York, from the Big Apple, we're glad you're here tonight.
Beyond Michael D. Butler, global book publisher. We're ending human trafficking at 1040impact.org.
Yeah, that's where it's at right there. You want to be everywhere people are, and you got to say right now, where are my readers hanging out? Where are my readers listening to me at? Where are my readers watching me? How can I connect with them? I like what Dee Dee Cox said, our best-selling author, KentuckyRomanceAuthor.com. She was speaking here a couple weeks ago, and she just did a book signing at Graceland in Memphis. She's done more book signings than all of our other authors combined. And I said, Dee Dee, how do you get into so many bookstores? She says, I pick up the phone. That's exactly what she does. She picks up the phone, but then she also gets other people talking about her, because one of the best ways to sell books is to have more of them. And when Dee Dee does a book signing, she doesn't sell 3 or 4 or 5 books. She sells all 11 books, and she's coming out with the 12th book. And First Down, Second Chances is a romance novel, and her next novel is called A Bridal Affair, because she's fun, she's got spunk, she's got charisma, she loves. And speaking of charisma, Adina's already talking about the Kentucky Derby. Keep me in the loop on the Kentucky Derby and her signing. I tell you, it's going to be huge this year. It's the 100th anniversary of the Kentucky Derby, and Dee Dee Cox is in the middle of what's going on at Derby. And if you love dressing up, if you love putting on hats, and if you love hobnobbing with cool people from around the globe and promoting your book, you need to come to the Derby that entire week. So we'll keep you posted on that. But first, I was honored and blessed to be a part of CBS New York, to be on Good Morning with Marcy and Hillary. So let's take it.
My 4 sons have stepped out of
minutes. Check it out. I want to
spectator
share
area and ran the last 3 miles with me. Make a decision,
with you.
go public on social media, and then get a team around you. I ordered new running shoes that first day, and I saw.
With we have Michael D. Butler, the Simon Cowell of book publishing. He's here to share his expertise on how to write your book in just 1 hour with America's book publisher. Joining us now is Michael D. Butler, the Simon Cowell of book publishing, pastor turned celebrity king, queen maker. Michael D.
Welcome to the show.
Great to be here.
I love that, Simon Cowell. And just really quick, you were a pastor, or are a pastor, and now you're helping others write books. Like, how did that happen?
Well, it was an interesting transformation. 85% of Americans want to write a book, only 15% ever do.
Yeah.
And I've been teaching people how to write a book in 1 hour for the last few years. Thousands of people have used my formula to write their book in 1 hour. And it really comes down to making a decision. It's like this. I was 39 and a half. I ran across my bucket list items that I had written out on a goal sheet a decade before, and I realized, oh, I was going to run a marathon at 40. I'm 39 and a half. I put on my running shoes, I go outside, I run a block, I'm out of breath. That's right, I was a couch potato. I was overweight, I wasn't in a workout regimen. The next day I go out, I'm thinking I'm having a bad day, I put on my shoes, I run a block in 2 mailboxes, I need to call 911.
Wow.
So let me ask you, you talk about writing a book in 1 hour. Can you really do that?
It really comes down to making a decision. I decided when it was time to run my marathon, I had to get public with it. I put it on social media that day. I said, I'm running the Route 66 Marathon November 18th, 2008. And guess what? 6 months later, I'm crossing the finish line with my 4 sons that stepped out of the spectator area and ran the last 3 miles with me. Make a decision, go public on social media, and then get a team around you. I ordered new running shoes that first day, and I saw an ad. I saw an ad to join a running group. So I joined a running group, and having that accountability and holding myself accountable with my friends and family on social media made the difference.
But one thing that I know people often have questions about is, once you decide I want to write a book, how do you actually get it out there?
Well, once we come up with the title and the subtitle and the cover, we start pre-selling it for the next 90 to 180 days. Nothing motivates you as an author more than knowing your book's out there on pre-sale. Friends and family and myself and my team are going to hold you accountable at beyondwebinar.com. We've done this for thousands of clients. We'll do it for you. It's a new year. Make a goal. Make a difference. The world needs to hear your story.
Exactly. So it's who's going to read it? What's your why?
Yeah.
Right? And then I love that you help through each of these steps and changing your mindset that you can do it. But now you've written the book, or you're on that road to writing the book. How do you publish it? How do you get it out there?
Well, we help with that too. We teach you how to write a chapter in 20 minutes. What do you put on the back of the book? How do you get global distribution? How do you get Amazon bestseller? You know, writing a book is kind of like building a house or doing your own plumbing. You could watch a lot of YouTube videos and figure out how to do it, or you could actually talk to somebody that's done thousands of books. It's really up to you. You know, everybody has different goals when they're writing a book, but the number one way to get more credibility and get more media interviews, Marcy, you're 68% more likely likely to get the media interview and get on stage over a speaker that does not have a book.
All right, there you go. Just a short little segment. So what I did was this segment, I actually paid $2,500 to shoot this segment. And the reason I did this is because I got 10 minutes of interview time, which means I got these ladies asked me 3 questions, and these were prepared questions. These were questions that I totally knew, total softballs. I told them what to ask me, and I had already prepared what my answer was going to be. And so one was write your book in 1 hour. So in fact, every week I do this, or every month, a couple times a month, I do write your book in 1 hour. It's helped a lot of people write their book, and it's actually a great lead generator for me in the business to get new customers every month, is to educate on a webinar. So one way to create buzz around what you're doing, if you're tying coaching into your book, you really want to think about it. You want to, most people that buy a book never read past page 9. Okay. And how are you going to get people to read past page 9? You're going to hook them. And once somebody reads your entire book, they'll spend $20,000 with you. And I'm inviting a few of you to join me in the green room, because I want to talk to you. I want to hear from you. I want to interview you. And when I bring you up on stage, I want you to put your camera on, and I want to hear what's going on. And in fact, some of you I'm just going to call on here in a little bit. Just had a coaching call with Phyllis here, a young entrepreneur. I love that. Phyllis, are you able to open your camera and say hi? Let everybody know what you're writing. Phyllis, it'd be great to hear from you. You got several book ideas.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Phyllis, I really love your book and who you're writing for. Just tell everybody really quick your book title, who you're writing for, and how is the creativity coming? How are you staying so creative?
Okay, so my book, I don't want to reveal the title of it because I want to go anonymous with it, but it's really about women, and about like how all the aspects of a woman. Like it's almost like just like a I don't know how to really explain it. Like it's like you're going to school to be a woman or something like that. I don't know.
It's like finding your inner beauty, and it's timeless and evergreen, because it's really about femininity and the qualities of femininity. And it's the book you wish you would have found as a young teenager to help you become a woman, right?
Absolutely. You worded like perfectly. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you're at 15,000 pages, or 15,000 pages, 15,000 words, and 66 illustrations. When are we launching your book?
Yeah, like I have put so much effort into this, and I'm not backing down. Like I really want this to be something that people will pick up years from now too as well. So I'm just hopeful for the future, and I just hope this touches whoever reads this. I just hope it touches them. Like that's just what I want. I want to impact people. I really do.
Outstanding. Well, I want to hear from several people. I'm so glad you're here, Phyllis. Thanks for opening up your camera, even though you're in the car. Be safe out there. Thanks for joining us here every night. Also in the Dallas area, we've got Kevin. Kevin's got a trilogy coming out. He's got a fiction series coming out. And the first book is called Union. Kevin, are you able to say hi to everybody, open up your camera, and tell us what you've been writing and working on, and how long did it take you? You've got a book that's launching this next month in February.
Yeah, that's right, Michael. Can you hear me?
We can hear you great.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Michael. Hi, everybody. Yeah, that's right. My book is Union. It's the first of a trilogy, Union Origins. And yeah, unfortunately, it with life and everything else, it took me a little over 2 years to write the first book. But like you mentioned, it came to fruition. It's done. We released a digital version of it a couple of days ago, and yeah, print soon to come. And Michael's got me hard on book 2 right now. So
I'm very excited about the fact that it's a trilogy. The number one reason people buy a book is because there's more of them. And in fact, I want to show here, I've just got a little sneak peek. that says this is on page 3, and at the back, I mean, this is a 314 page book 1. So when you brought this concept to me, I said, my goodness, this is a long book 1. But there's 3 books here in the series. Look at that. It's just beautiful. This is what the reader sees. And that's what I was talking about to Phyllis, because Phyllis has got several book ideas that are unrelated. But the thing is, it's really about branding you. Hi, Elena. Good to hear from you. It's really about branding you as the author. So at the end of the day, even if you're doing a series of books that are unrelated, you have your QR code in the book, you've got your website in the book. So you're sending people to your website and your social media so they can read the latest on where you're speaking, what podcast you're on, your latest book signing. Even if you're speaking on a webinar like this, that's newsworthy. And so one of the best ways to get news is, hey, you both spoke tonight to an international audience. We normally have people here from around the globe, and there's other people watching because we normally do it on Zoom. So this is being broadcast out on social media, and we've got different people there. You see, we got people commenting from around the country, and you can literally put out a press release tomorrow. Go to ChatGPT tonight, write a press release that says you spoke on a national stage last night. You were interviewed by Michael Butler, book publisher, about your new upcoming book, XYZ, and then just give us a little background and history and synopsis of why you launched the book, who you wrote the book for. You want to create your own media. You want to create your own news. And, I got a call this afternoon from publicity expert and dear friend of mine, 5 times best-selling author, Jill Lublin. She says, I'm so sorry. I am so sick. I had hoped to feel better, and she's just not able to be with us tonight. I said, Jill, I love you. I appreciate that. I know you're not calling in sick unless you really were sick. And so she's going to be with us on Valentine's night. She's going to be with us February 14th. And so this is the time. Join us every Wednesday night, because every Wednesday night, this is our Beyond Publishing author mastermind, where we talk about marketing. We talk about what are you writing? What are you promoting? What events do you have coming up? Are you stuck in your writing? Do you need some encouragement? Do you need some help? We hear from different people, like we've been hearing lately from Debbie Adams in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, who just finished scheduling her 16th podcast because, one day back in October, I said on this mastermind, jump on podmatch.com, set up your free profile. And the next week she says, I've got 5 interviews. And the next week she said, I got 4 more interviews. And the next week she said, I got 3 more interviews. And so it just kept happening. And so join our author community on Facebook at theauthorcommunity.com. We're going to help support you there 24/7. We literally have 1,800 authors in that group, and from around the globe. A lot of times we'll have authors from Sydney, Australia on this Wednesday night call in the US. It's Thursday morning over there, and they tell us how it looks in Thursday. How's it going around the globe? Truly, you want to create your own magic as an author. Now, a lot of times as an author, you've been writing your book like Kevin for 2 years, and you're burnt out on it. You're like, I need to take a break from this book. I'm tired of character development and going through these plot scenarios in my head and waking up, changing the plot and rewriting this character scenarios. I get it. But you're sick and tired of writing it. Now's the time that everybody wants you to talk about it. So what you want to do is have a strategy that is 12 to 24 months out that says, okay, let's look at the calendar. This is January. If I've got a book on health, this is a good time for me to launch my book. Vita, Cracking the Love Code, she is a wellness coach, and she's also a love doctor coach. Okay, so she's launching her book tomorrow called Cracking the Love Code. She should be here. Every time she has an opportunity to be somewhere, she should be speaking. So I would actually have her speaking here. So what you want to do as an author is you don't want to say no to any media opportunity. You want to say yes to everything. So the reason I took that media opportunity at CBS in New York, even though it cost me something to cover the studio time, I said, look, this is going to give me 3 great segments where I can talk about different things in my business and even a new book that I'm launching. So my first segment that you just saw was called Write Your Book in 1 Hour. And I do that every month. And even right now, if you go to write your book, if you go to beyondwebinar.com, that's going to take you to the latest recording that I did a few days ago on Write Your Book in 1 Hour. And it's going to have the promo that we're running right now. Okay. So you're going to get some bonuses and things like that. So if you have a friend or somebody that's publishing, send them to that to watch it all the way to the end. My second segment that I did was on our nonprofit 1040 Impact, where we rescue kids from human trafficking. Because I said, we've done a lot of interviews. We've talked a lot about that story. It's been a bit since I've been over to Pakistan to feature the kids and to feature our team on the ground there. I need some new footage of somebody interviewing me. And then the third segment that the ladies asked me about was the new book I've got coming out on Mother's Day called Mom Made Me Millions. And it's little things parents can do that make a big difference in kids' lives. And so I'm so excited about it because 85% of brain development happens in the first 5 years. And these are little things that my mom and dad did in my life to make my life better and really prepare me for life. So it's kind of a fun look at raising kids. And it's an epic book and it's a great Mother's Day gift. So it'll be available for pre-sale soon. I was in Cabo 2 weeks ago working on that book and working on another writing project. And so I've missed you guys because I was supposed to be in Asia right now. So let me tell you what happened. I'm going to bring Adina in because we want to hear what she's been up to today in a minute, because you were on the radio interviews today. We want to hear about that. It's good to have Alina. Alina popped in and said, hey to everybody. Karen's watching here. Good to see you, Karen. Great to have you watching on LinkedIn right now. Karen, where are you watching from? Oh, Vita's here. Hey, Vita, can you pop into the studio? I'm going to send you the link like I did Adina so you can come into the green room, because we're going to have a guest tonight. And she just said, I would show up. I'm just sick and I'll be there. So she's coming. She's just coming on Valentine's Day. And so if you haven't met or heard Jill Lublin, she's a PR expert, dear friend of mine for years. Oh, we got Perth, Australia in the house. Karen, you've taken us international. My question to Karen, tell us, how's Thursday looking? All of us Americans want to know. Adina, don't you want to know how Thursday's going to look?
I do.
Karen's got a good look. Hey, how did it go today? Adina, how many radio interviews did you do about your book today?
I did 2 today, and then I'm supposed to do 1 between now and Saturday.
Now, what was the topic? Just introduce yourself, but also what was the topic today specifically?
Hey, y'all. Today, my name's Adina Payton, and today the topic was kids getting on TikTok and self-diagnosing, and people are on there that don't know what they're talking about, and the kids are listening. And the interesting part is, because I was trying to build an audience to start a podcast, look at my little podcast microphone. Yeah, big bullet. But
yeah, there you go.
I have never been on TikTok till 30 days ago, and the article was on the danger on TikTok. And I said, I can attest there is a danger. And I had to check myself. Am I on TikTok handing out information that, I'm clean on that, but it's very important. That's a pretty powerful message to watch for your children.
So break this down for us. So these kids that are on TikTok, maybe one of them's depressed or suicidal or whatever, or is being harassed or something like that. And they're just reaching out, right? They're looking for some answers, and you're saying they're not necessarily getting the right answers, or what did you come up with?
They could just be having a bad day and say, I'm depressed. So they're going to click depressed. And then it's going to start, pulling in the media for that subject. And even though they might have snapped out of that mood, then everything that pulls up, it's just taking them deeper and deeper.
Mm.
And then I've watched people on there, adult people, with their feed filling up with people, and they're just like holding court. And then they all kind of self-diagnose and form a little group, and then you can only imagine what that could lead to.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hurting people out there, and it seems like I don't know if you touched on the fact. I mean, TikTok is a Chinese company, right? I mean, and I don't know how much truth I've heard this. I've only done a little bit of research on it. That in China, the kids are getting quality educational content to make them smarter, and what kids are being fed in America is stupid dance videos to keep them in endless loops of stupidity. Wanting
Well,
more.
that may be true, but here's the situation. Our children are on there, and nobody's going to jump in there. I told the guy today, I said, all I know to do is get down in there with them, learn the language, and try to submit a positive message, because you're not going to stop it. And you're not going to just be able to say, stay off TikTok. I mean, it's pretty frightening to be on it, actually. And they're amazed that an old lady's on there, but I just hang with them and try to figure out what's going on.
So what you're saying is don't curse the darkness, light a candle. So you're saying, hey, the kids are on there. We might as well be on there making a difference. Have you been able to speak some positive messages, and what kind of feedback are you getting?
Well, I just got on like 3 weeks ago, so I'm up to 800. So I got to get 1,000 to go live. But see, I'm very concerned because I want my message to have meat. I can't just be on there, hey, how's it going? Y'all have a good day. That's what is happening. And so it's such a responsibility that they don't take serious because they don't have to. And
Yeah.
I mean, people do not like TikTok. My people down here in the South, they're like, I'm not getting on TikTok, girl, because I'll upload stuff to Facebook and they won't open it. So that's another issue. The kids love it, the adults don't.
Adina Payton, what's the best way to people find you, follow you? Is that the best website for them to connect with you on?
Well, it is right now, but Mr. Gillette is redesigning my website, and
Okay.
so we're changing that around a little bit. But if anybody's interested,
GrammyUS.org.
yes,
Awesome. Author, speaker, advocate.
thank you.
Well, hey, listen, I'm glad you're here because you've got the accent. You're definitely from the South, but Vita's from the other South. She's from Texas, and that's pretty South. She's launching a book tomorrow called Cracking the Love Code. You're going to love it. If you've ever been catfished online, or if you've ever just said, there's got to be some way to crack this love code, here's Vita Newton herself. Vita, did you hear me talking about you a minute ago? You're muted. We need you to unmute so we can hear you. Let me see if I can unmute you.
Here we go.
All right. There you go. Cracking the love code. Wow.
I think it launched today. Did it launch today?
Yeah. And I'll tell you, the ebook's free tomorrow. You can go buy it right now today, and it's going to be free tomorrow. But Cracking the Love Code, did you get your books in the mail?
No.
Still waiting.
This
that
is
Christmas rush.
This is an old one, but anyway.
Okay. There you go.
It looks really good though, don't it?
You know, I'm really proud of that cover. This cover was all you. You came up with it. And this is covers. Don't underestimate covers. You know, Kevin was on a minute ago. He's doing a fiction trilogy. His is more minimalistic, and it's also more intrigue. But when you're doing a nonfiction book, you want to really, just like Cracking the Love Code says, hey, I'm 55. I haven't cracked the love code. I want to hear what this lady's got to say. What'd you write about, Vita?
I wrote about relationships, unveiling the lessons of relationship mishaps. So I've had a lot of mishaps. So they're in this book. It's a small book, but it's a lot to say.
Beautiful, beautiful. So vitanewton.com, the website is live. People can go there and buy the books now. Is that right?
It is, but I messed it up a while ago, so I don't know. You can go to Amazon. It's on Amazon right now. So,
well, Karen from Australia said it looks like a great book. It is, Karen. If you ever wanted to crack the love code, Is it for Australians from down under as well? Will it help?
Yes, it's
love
for
code?
anybody around the world that's had heartbreak or relationship issues, which I think that's all of us.
Well, I think even if you're in a relationship, you're probably go through seasonal highs and lows, right? Where maybe you're having a bad week or a bad month or a bad year or something. So there's probably some helpful stuff in here. Now, I was talking before, you're a wellness coach as well.
Yeah.
How much are you tying that into the book? And are you tying people into coaching where maybe they gotten online and did the dating apps and got catfished or something, but are you going to be doing some coaching with the clients?
Yes, I would love to be doing coaching. It's very scary getting online. I don't know. I'm from the old school and I have not dated in many, probably 30 something years. So my first shoot on online dating was a disaster. So I have lessons about that, but I have other lessons for women to learn how to value yourself, how to know what your self-worth is, your boundaries, and it all entitles for your body, which is wellness for your body too. So.
Oh, beautiful. So a couple things on that. How long did it take you to write Cracking the Love Code?
It took me, maybe a year, maybe not even that long. I think I started it when I got with you back in May last year or something, and I had already maybe started some of it. So it's been about a year.
Well, you had a pretty good idea of what you wanted to say.
Yes.
Did my course, Write Your Book in 1 Hour, help you?
It did a lot. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as the outline, did it help with the outline, or what would you say it helped you most with?
The outline is the main point. I mean, if you don't have an outline, you really don't have much to go on, to me. So that was where I was struggling, and it really did help me kind of guide through the process.
I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. I still get stuck on the outline because I'm a generalist. I'm a 30,000 view. I'm not a detail-oriented guy.
Right.
Whereas some people are so analytical that their outline's perfect, but they don't have any marketing flair or hooks. And you're really good. This Cracking the Love Code, it's really got a potential to do really, really well. And so I would encourage you to speak as much as you can. Have you done, Dr. DeLaw is a medical doctor from Egypt, and she's in Tennessee, and she's published multiple books with us. Good to see you, Dr. DeLaw. In fact, she's doing her 7th book with us, and it's basically about why healthcare workers and doctors should vote for Trump. And it's based on deregulation that he did in his administration. So we're going to have to bring her on, Dr. DeLaw. And even if you want to join us in the green room here, since we're doing this venue tonight, I'll text you the link. So Vita, are you on? Oh, Dr. DeLaw was texting me. I'm sorry I missed that earlier. Are you on Podmatch? Are you out there offering yourself as a host on podcast?
I am on Podmatch. I haven't really gotten into it yet because I didn't have a website to kind of refer to, but now that I've got that up and going, that's my goal this year.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Well, you got the book now. I know it took us a minute to get it just right. And this is where it's, sometimes when you get down to the wire, every semicolon and comma is in place. And then sometimes you've got to go back through and do some edits there. And so we wanted to make sure it was perfect. The thing is, even with the New York Times bestselling book that went through 16 editors, a lot of times you'll get that print copy in your hand and you'll be like, oh no, I've got a comma or a semicolon out of place. But at the end of the day, it is your book. You should be very happy with it. It should be what you want. The main thing though is promote. You want to be talking about it. You want to be sharing. You want to be asking questions out there online and say, hey, have you figured out how to crack the love code? Because that's really a catchword. That's really marketable. It rolls off the tongue. It's just like book I did a bestseller in 30 days. I haven't promoted it properly. Okay, Dr. DeLaw, I just sent you the link. So you should be able to get in and you should be able to hop in, Dr. DeLaw. We definitely want to see your face. So Dr. DeLaw says, great message. So you can literally take Dr. DeLaw's endorsement, Vita, and say, Dr. DeLaw says, great. So,
thank you.
There you go. Alina's here, and we're going to feature her as well in the near future. And I want to find out from everybody as well tonight if you like this StreamYard platform versus the Zoom platform. They both have their pros and cons. McGinna really likes it. She commented. But Alina, I want to mention, hi, everyone. Wanted to let you know it's a poetry book that I've launched called Discover Yourself Through the Art of Poetry. And it's live everywhere as well, hardcover, paperback, and ebook. So thank you, Alina. And I appreciate you for saying hey, and we're glad you're here. And really glad to get some positive vibes all the way from Australia. And a lot of times we'll have Kelly Markey nominated for two Nobel Prizes from Sydney, Australia, who couldn't be with us tonight. I know the clock sometimes is a big difference, but it's really great to have you, Karen. Hey, Karen, did somebody tell you about us, or did you just see the live stream through StreamYard go live on LinkedIn? That would be my question, because it's interesting, Vita. You know, we go live on this StreamYard, and it's being broadcast on LinkedIn. It's being broadcast on YouTube. It's being broadcast on X, formerly Twitter. It's being broadcast on multiple Facebook, including my personal, the Beyond Publishing fan page, in our group. So it's being broadcast everywhere. And so we're getting people messages from everywhere, seeing everything and commenting, whereas Zoom is basically a dead end. It's stagnant. Now you can broadcast a Zoom recording to Facebook or YouTube, but I think you get a lot more reach with StreamYard. The main thing I wanted to point out tonight with Jill Lublin scheduled to be here was you can create publicity and promotion. You could literally go to ChatGPT right now and you could say, hey, I spoke on a webinar last night to an international group of authors, and there's Dr. DeLaw right there. And in fact, she's great at putting out press releases and things like that. Dr. DeLaw, how are you doing, and where are you in the world tonight?
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for the invitation. Mike, it's amazing. I am in Johnson City, Tennessee, and I am going to be in Dallas in a week. And I travel everywhere, but I am can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm very excited because working with Mike has been a great gift for me. He understands me. He knows exactly what I need. We can communicate, and in a very short time, I would get what I need. And that is something that is incredible, and it's something that everyone needs. I am very excited to really say great things about him. We did at least 7 books together, and I am daring. I dare doing things that most people don't want me to do. So I postponed that book about Trump and the regulation that really was a great gift for the people in like doctors, the not only doctors but also the healthcare, and so it really allowed people to have what we call. I'm sorry, I'm working with a grandbaby here. The right to try is something that is a gift for everyone who has a chronic disease that is almost fatal. And, you know, people, instead of having to go to Spain or Mexico, Germany. So we together can work at amplifying each other's voice. And being in this forum is something that we should be honored and blessed to be part of, because working with Mike is really allowing us to meet each other and support one another and really have understand a lot of things, and to be a podcaster, and then not only to be a podcaster but be able to publicize that you are a podcaster that can interview people in itself. So he gives you tools, and we all give each other tools. So Mike, I can't tell how grateful I am to work with you.
It's been so fun working with you, DeLaw, and I'm really glad to have you. In fact, I just want to read a couple of your book titles so people know You started out as a medical doctor, and you are really.
And I'm still one, Mike.
Yeah, yes, but the point I wanted to make, in addition to that, is you're a functional medicine doctor and helping the body heal itself. You're not a typical allopath that's pushing pain meds. You're a functional doctor that's wanting people. In fact, I just want to read some of your book titles here.
I would be grateful.
Sex addiction isn't just a guy thing. I didn't publish that book. I wish I had of, but when you came,
you can we can republish it, because I
okay,
really
that'd be
believe
great.
it's a very, very, very special book, because a lot of people don't dare discussing that topic, and it's really more common than people want to even discuss it. And there's a difference between hypersexual. No, we don't want to discuss this.
Yeah, I don't want to go into details on all these, because for the sake of time, I just want to read the titles, okay? And then I want to wrap it up and see if we've got any Q&A. But check out these titles: Breastfeeding Bonds, Empowering the Journey, Unleashing the Superpowers of Motherhood for a Thriving Future. See, here's one I'm real excited about: Secrets of Healthy Aging. That's powerful. Breathing Beyond Lung Cancer, Empowering Lives Through Conventional Breakthroughs and Alternative Frontiers. Your Ultimate Weight Loss Journey, Shed and Shine, the Skinny and Sexy Guide. And your latest one, Build a Multi-million-dollar High-Level Training and Exceptional Patient Experiences, that you wrote for doctors on how to turn their practice into a $1 million cash practice. Now, you've been a prolific writer since you've met me and you hired me in July. You've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you've got the 6th book you delivered to me yesterday. Since July, you are a prolific author. Why do you have such a fervent passion to get so many books out so quickly?
Oh, there's one big passion for me. I am at a stage in my life, most people don't think my age is real. So I am an anti-aging doctor, but I am I'm at the verge of becoming 70 years old. I just had an open heart surgery less than a year ago, because I was born with a abnormal valve.
We almost lost you a year ago. You were ready to meet.
Almost dead, right? Almost dead a year ago. I had 2 strokes since then, and the last stroke was just this past July. No sequelae because of everything I do. Now, why did I have a stroke? Very simple, because I had a very bad heart, and then when they operated, the heart does not know how to function normal, and we asking the heart to adapt to something that it's never done ever since I was born. So I started developing something called atrial fibrillation, but I think I'm getting very stable on that. And it's all because I'm really supporting my health. And then I survived a hurricane.
You survived a Category 5 hurricane in Acapulco in August. When Hugo decided to hit, you took cover. Some of our mutual friends, you were there at a marketing mastermind at the villa. I was not there this time. You and I are at many events together. We were not at this one together, but you were literally hunkered down. Was there some fear that somebody might lose their life there at the house?
Really, you cannot understand what a hurricane Category 5 is until you have to go through one. Well, we was in a very big house, maybe eight bedrooms, and they're separated. Now, when that hurricane hit, we were each in our bedroom, don't know how to contact the others because there's no way you can get outside. And
I guess the cell service was all knocked out at that point.
Oh, it's all dead. But more importantly, I really had to be to hide inside of a closet. And that closet is what saved me, because we have amazing glass and we're on the water. So it was a disaster, but we made it. We stayed with no light, without electricity, without food. We had food, but we had to do every effort to keep that food healthy without spoiling, so we can survive almost a week. It
It
was
was, it was a
really
week.
a
There was
challenge.
no clean water. The military had to bring fresh water into you. Fortunately, miracle answer to prayers. You were able to get out on some
Yeah.
rescue planes, and we were just hearing about it bits and pieces because in the States they were not covering the hurricane. And had we seen a few of your posts on social media, we would not even known there was a Category 5 in Acapulco.
So back to why I'm doing this is because I feel it's my mission. It's my urgent message. All what I've learned through my whole experience, not only in medicine but in life, being an immigrant myself, being a mother of two that I've had to leave in Egypt for a year and a half before I see them again and rejoin with my husband and my two children in order for me to become a doctor, the doctor I wanted to be. All these challenges trained me to be who I am today.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can't leave the planet without finishing my mission. So
Because
that's
your
the main
calling,
reason I'm writing this
Jesus
book.
is not done with you yet. Your calling is not complete yet. And you know what? We want you to be around for a long time. Everybody on this call needs you. And I got to say, I thought I was going to be in Asia right now. I thought I was flying to Asia a week and a half ago. My son called me. He was moving from Seattle, and I was leaving Cabo, writing a book for 2 book projects, and he was going to have a friend help him move from Seattle, his moving truck. And I said, sure, I would love to help you. And what was so incidental about it is my connecting flight to Taipei and to Bali was through Seattle, where he lives. And so I just adjusted my flight, and I said, hey, that's fate, right? That works out well. And well, anyway, long story short, the weather started happening. Airports started backing up, changing flights. I had flights getting canceled left and right. I was rebooking myself through LA, through Vegas, through Phoenix to try to miss the weather. And I said, well, if I can meet you in Boise, Idaho, made sense because he was looking at the weather. I was looking at the weather. He had to spend 4 days in Cascade Locks, Oregon, in a hotel. Speaking of running out of food and water, I mean, they shut down the highway and he's stranded at this hotel. He decided not to bring the moving truck, just to drive his car. And after talking to him and staying in Boise, Idaho for a day and a half, where I can work anywhere in the world, it didn't make sense for me to stay in Boise. So I flew back this direction. And he's coming now. This week, he's driving from Seattle. He's moving to Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's a chef. And but the beautiful thing is my business in Singapore, we have a client there we're working with. We're doing an event in Singapore next month. We just moved it to next month. I will be flying from Dallas to Singapore, doing business in Singapore, meeting new authors in Singapore, and then spending some time in Thailand finishing the book, Mom Made Me Millions, before Mother's Day. And I've got to be back for March 2nd and 3rd because Adina and I are going to be at an event in Los Angeles before she goes on a cruise. And who do you want to introduce us here to, Dr. Lublin?
She saw me get my thumb up. Look what she's trying to do. This is Gia, and she is, her name is Gigi, but she is very intelligent, and she's going to be writing books like her grandma.
This is Gigi. Awesome. Hi, Gigi. So glad you're here.
Gigi, they have to work. This is work.
My story today is, you guys are going to be proud. I got a crown put on today, and I did it with no laughing gas. And that's a big accomplishment for me. It's great to meet you, Gigi. Look forward to hearing more from you. But one thing I've learned in life, and I'm so glad DeLaw, I feel like you that I have this sense of urgency. So yesterday I ran 10 miles. Today I ran 10 miles. I have this sense of urgency because I always want to feel like I'm under the gun and I'm under pressure. Just read a book and I'm always reading. It's called Choose Your Enemies Wisely. And the point of the story is, if you're going to be successful in business and in life, you need to have enemies, right? I know we want to be peacemakers. We want to get along with everybody, but the true winners in life are people that feel like somebody's chasing them. And it sounds like your goal in life, DeLaw, is to get everything out that God's given you before you pass over to the other side. Because once you pass over, there's no more book writing and speech giving, right? So keep being a blessing to everybody. Keep creating press about yourself. We're going to have Dr. Jill Lublin on. Jill Lublin on February 14th. That's a big day to crack the love code, Vita. So I think you want to think about, as you look at your calendar and the books you're launching this year. Adina's got a book coming out. I've got multiple books coming out. DeLaw, I think you're going to beat us all. I think you're going to do a book a month.
Really, I wanted to do a book about Biden too, but I don't know if I should or should not. But
you can ask this group really quick.
I was told not to submit my book, but Mike said, if your heart wants it, just go ahead and do it. And I really felt very strongly. I don't want to alienate anybody. I actually want to make peace and help, but I need to tell the truth and the truth. Hopefully, he continues to be as good as he was for healthcare, and which means every one of us, because we all need healthcare. So, I mean, if I can be of help and service to everyone, if I can train everybody to really, share my learning so that people can help people become healthier. Because when you're healthier, you can be a better writer, you can be a better PR person, you can be a better publisher. Health is wealth, and that was a TV show that I've created about 10 years ago, and I'm going to revive that TV show. But anyway.
Let me ask you this, DeLaw, because you've done a lot of media interviews, and there are a lot of them are up on your website. You can go check them out. How many TV interviews have you done?
I would say about 100.
Oh, wow.
And that was before I even. And one thing I want to tell everyone: invest in yourself. If I don't invest in me, I can't ask for people to invest in themselves with me. I don't. I'm at my age. I really think I'm done, but I'm not. I am still investing with a lot of people to learn from them, because I believe that together we're stronger. Together we're more power. Together we learn more. Together we produce more. It's never a competition. It's really, we always complement each other. And when we feel it's a competition, is a scarcity mentality, and I really never had that. And that's a blessing for me.
Well, your JT Fox's doctor, he brags on you every time you're on stage. Every time you're at his events, he brings you up on stage to speak, and you keep him healthy in spite of his schedule. So your latest picture with Oprah, we've got it up. So people need to friend you on Facebook so they can see your picture with Oprah, and then all of your book covers there. I think we should start the Dr. DeLaw book club, where they get a book a month and they're just on auto ship.
I really think we should do that, because the weight loss one, there is nothing like it. I don't think anybody needs to know weight loss, but weight and insulin has to do with every single disease on the planet. There's nothing that has happened in our body that has not related to insulin. And insulin has relationship with weight. So most people don't realize that, understanding that weight loss, detoxification. There's a lot of people who talk about partial things. They talk about intermittent fasting, but they don't talk about the whole spectrum, the intermittent fasting and the microbiome and the detoxification system. It's all one. And really, that book and the secret of healthy living or healthy aging are really going to need to be in every single home.
Well,
really.
I'm going to be interviewing you on all the books. I did an interview with Vita in the TV studio in Dallas, and then also with Adina there in Dallas. And so the thing you want to do is you want to gather as many interviews as you can. And I don't know how many of those 100 interviews you have up on your website. You have quite a few. But lately you did a cooking demonstration. That's kind of cool, because people love when they see you on TV. It kind of helps that you're a doctor, you got on the white lab coat, but you're making healthy food and stuff like that, and you're literally cooking on live television. What can you say to the others that are watching everywhere? And just to recap, Vita's book, Cracking the Love Code, about finding happiness in dating and relationships. Adina's book is about her journey. She lost her son in a mental health mishap, and he was shot 16 times by the police. And so she started a nonprofit called GrammyUS.org, and she empowers first responders, mental health professionals. What would you say to these ladies that are just launching their books now in the coming months?
Really keep going. You're going to find challenges. Keep going, and together, work together. Let's work together. Let's help one another. We are going to all have obstacles. We're all going to have challenges. Let's take those. What you just said. Enemies is what keeps us going. I really believe that I'm more grateful to everyone who's been harsh on me than everyone who loved me. I really appreciate every single one who loved me. Without them, I wouldn't be here either. But if it wasn't for those people who made me try to question my capability, like right now, I was told by very, very high-powered people, individual, not to publish my most recent book that I spent a lot of time on. But my heart and my intuition said, keep going. You are an example for many. You need to stay strong. We need to stay strong, and together we're going to be strong. Invest in each other, invest in yourself. It's never wasted money. Every single thing we do is an investment that gets us to the next level. Don't stop writing books. Don't start touching hearts. But if we can together touch more hearts, let's do events together. Even if we collaborate to get events together, it will help defer some costs. But we need to be heard. You need to be heard. You have a story. You have a big story. And it's not the end of the story. This is the beginning. Every single stage in your life is a story in itself. And it prepares you to the next level. And I'm a doctor. I've really helped a lot of people, patients and all. But right now, I want to empower men and women. I want to empower the human race. I don't want to say men and women. I want to empower humans. Why? Because if I could do it, why can't you? Why can't everybody else do?
Let me close with this question. How important is it to host your own events? I know you've got some events on the calendar for this year. You love speaking, but actually hosting your own event, is that an important ingredient that new authors should be thinking about for their future? If so,
yeah, you definitely have to. I did a very big event of 150 people attended. It was the first integrative addiction conference in the country. It was in 2015, and I had people from all over, and they thought it was going to be. But I had a lot of people who tried to destroy me after that. But that didn't stop me. I mean, I'm still going. You have to host your own event. You need to really, but do events with others first. Just get the training. Get the training by doing events with Mike.
Yeah.
Events with others, so that you develop experience, and then you develop strategy, and then you develop a plan. When you have a plan, you know who to invite, how to create whether that event is online or that event is physical event in a physical place. You still have to prepare. You still have to see if you can have supporters. You can hire. You can get some exhibitors. I mean, you can't find ways to. Yeah. I mean, but how would you learn that if you didn't see it?
A couple of events can be virtual, right? I mean, you can build up. I say you want to create momentum. You want to mitigate risks. You want to mitigate financial risks. We're creating an online community at theauthorcommunity.com, which is our Facebook group with 1,800 authors. And so you want to show up. You want to make it a point, just like with our other friend. I'm a part of 4 masterminds. And when I pay for a mastermind, I show up every time. I'm there 100% of the time, unless I'm on an airplane. And even then, sometimes I've popped into masterminds before, flying through Arab countries. I've been on masterminds over Kuwait, over Pakistan, over Qatar, on a mastermind on my computer. So you can do it. It really, plus it's a great photo op, just to say, hey, checking in, flying over to Dubai. I wanted to say hi to everybody. You want to create the momentum, because I'm going to close with this. The law of inertia says things in motion tend to stay in motion. I'm not a doctor. Sometimes I play one in my dreams and I get people moving, because one of the biggest problems we have is people are sitting still. And if you want to see something happen, you can't expect other people to get excited about your brand, your book, your message. And, you know, we're all going to stand before the Lord one day, and he's going to say, what'd you do with the gifts I gave you? Right. And so I want to be able to say, I did everything I could and then ran a little extra, because Jesus said, if your friend asks you to go 1 mile, go 2 miles. If they ask for a coat, give them 2 coats. Go the extra mile, because people need that. Make the difference. There's always going to be more for you. And I just want to close out with that and say, get moving. If it's health and wellness, yes. If it's picking up the phone and calling more clients, yes. If it's writing more books, if it's showing up on every time you can show up, because every time you show up to speak, you get a little bit better. Okay. Just like Jill Lublin canceled on me today because she was sick. I was only at mile 5. That was about the time you were texting me, Dr. DeLaw. I was getting 5 more miles in. I was on another call, and I'm like, I've got to get this 10th mile in before I eat dinner, because here's what happens. I've got to eat my dinner before this webinar, even though Jill's not coming. And I've got to get my 10th mile in before I eat dinner, because if I do this webinar and I have 2 miles left or 1 mile left, my body will start shutting down and my muscles will start getting stiff. And it's no fun.
Won't do it.
Another mile. So Vita knows that quite well. Tonight was so much fun. Did you all enjoy it tonight?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Everybody was great. Great hearing from everybody. I'm going to post the replay in the group, and you know who you are. You know how much I appreciate you, and you know how proud I am of you. So Vita's launching tonight and tomorrow and this week. So go grab her book.
Thank you.
Cracking the Love Code. VitaNewton.com. Get on her calendar. I'm going to figure out how to crack the love code. I'm telling you what, I still believe in love. People ask me, they're like, oh, wow, sorry it didn't work out. You still believe in love? I'm like, I believe in love, and I'm going to do it again, and I will jump. But this time I'm going to put a parachute on first. But
Me too. Me too.
I believe in love. I do. And you know what? All the way from Perth, Australia, Karen Weaver believes in love, and she says it's a great looking day. Thursday is going to be awesome. So the outlook for Thursday from down under, from Karen, thanks for weighing in on LinkedIn and telling us that Thursday is going to be A-OK. God bless you all. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you to everybody. Thanks,
Thank
Michael.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Blah.
It's an honor. Thank
Thank
you. My
you.
pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye
Have a
now.
great night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So start your own show. That's the thing I would say to everybody. If you don't have a show, if you don't have a podcast that's the same name as your book, you want to start it. You want to start it right away. So I'm just going to say hey to everybody that came in and said hi. We're glad you're here. We're glad you popped in. And thanks for weighing in from around the globe. Maryland, Lexington, Tampa. Got some good coverage tonight across the country. Wow. You guys are really impressing me because you're touching everybody with your stories.
Changing lives in New York and NASDAQ and beyond. Michael D. Butler, Global Book Publisher. We're ending human trafficking at 1040impact.org.
Good night, everyone. God bless.